Also, how far is it to Disney?
And how far is it to Disney?
Because aren't we moving to Disney? Isn't that the whole point?
That's the whole point.
We're moving to Disney.
For us anyway, that's
how far is it to Universal? How far is it to SeaWorld?
Right.
Hi, I'm Mike.
Hi, I'm Cindy.
Welcome to part 3 of our series on moving to Orlando. In this episode, we talk about our information gathering trip we took to Orlando. Once we decided we were moving to Florida, we decided, hey, why don't we go there and look around, right?
Yeah.
And this was the really fun part, because we didn't go as a tourist going to Disney.
Yeah.
In fact, we didn't go to the Disney parks at all. In this trip, we decided on a Saturday, gee, we should go do this. So we got tickets, we got on a plane Sunday morning from Portland to Orlando, and by afternoon we were there. We rented a car and we went to stay at the La Quinta over by Universal on Major Boulevard.
Yeah,
and we
nice
just
spot.
we wanted to do that because, you know, like I said, we didn't want to stay anywhere in Disney. We just wanted to be outside of that Disney bubble. This hotel was conveniently located at the crossroads of I-4 and the Florida Turnpike, so it made a good jumping off point to go scout out some towns in either direction.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And if you happen to be driving to Florida with pets, La Quinta is a pet-friendly hotel.
Cool.
Yeah.
This trip was really helpful. Once we decided we were going to move to Florida, we still had a lot of questions and doubts in our mind about where we might live, where we might work, what it's like around there.
Where we might shop.
Yeah, oh no. So this trip was a really fun thing to do because we really wanted to just check the place out. We bought the tickets on a Saturday, flew there on a Sunday, and then we rented a car when we got there. We stayed at a La Quinta hotel on Major Boulevard near Universal. Even though we weren't going to the theme parks, we picked that hotel because it was affordable and the location was right there by I-4 and the Florida Turnpike where they cross each other. So the next morning, we just went for a drive off in one direction, going to look at some different towns. We did some research online at new housing developments in Winter Garden, and then we just drove there and looked around.
Yeah. We went to Winter Garden. We also looked around a town called Claremont, which is really pretty with a lot of hills and lakes and trees. We did go check out some of the housing in Kissimmee area, which is closer to Disney. And where else did we go? I don't
remember. We went to Windermere. We drove through Windermere.
Yeah.
And we drove through Dr. Phillips on the way to Windermere.
Hamlin. Hamlin is a new development area. Yeah. It's really nice. Upscale kind of, but not super upscale. Yeah.
We did find some neighborhoods we'd be happy to live in.
Yeah.
And one of the things we were trying to find out was, number one, what do these neighborhoods look like, the towns, how do you get there on the freeway, how long would it maybe take to get from work to the town and back each day.
How long does it take to get to Disney property?
Yeah.
That's an important one for us.
And it gave me some practice driving on the freeways, not as a tourist, you know, pretending I live there, I'm driving around. So the rental car we had was an Avis, and we were able to use the Sun Pass and go on the toll roads without having to stop and pay money, and that was nice. That's something you would do if you live there. Get a monthly pass and just be able to zoom right through. So we pretended we were just a local and drove that way on the freeways, and it was fun.
Yeah.
One of the things we learned is that we might not want to live somewhere off of I-4 because it's always under construction this time. Well, for the next couple of years anyway. There seems to be some heavy traffic. The drivers aren't that great. We had a couple of near misses where people tried to cut me off, but we did like the Florida Turnpike and wouldn't mind living in Clermont. We do wish we could have gone the other direction afterwards. We thought, oh yeah, we should have checked out south of Kissimmee, like Davenport.
In the Davenport would have been a good place to go check out, and we didn't. Kind of ran short on time.
One of the things you learn looking at these different towns is the housing costs are not the same in each town.
Right.
Even though a lot of the towns have brand new housing developments, if that's what you're looking for, the ones closer to Disney, you're going to find higher prices. And the ones a little bit further out, if you're okay with driving a half an hour or 40 minutes, you can save money on the same exact style home.
The same builder can have radically different pricing from one neighborhood to another.
And one of the things we did was we took pictures of the different neighborhoods and the different homes we looked at. Yeah. We do regret not taking any video. We weren't thinking about doing this vlog at the same time we were there, so you know, if we had to do it again, we would have taken some video.
Probably would have taken more photos.
Maybe spend another couple days driving around a little bit more.
Yeah.
We did drive around for about 2 days, and then we got a hold of a realtor. And I recommend that if you are going on a scouting trip to look around Orlando and the different towns, spend a couple days on your own first looking around. And then maybe on the third day, meet with the realtor and have them show you. So the realtor we used was Kristen Ambrosino. I'm going to put her contact information in the description down below. If you'd like to do the same thing, you can give her a call. She was really nice, and she rode around with us and showed us some of the housing developments and gave us some tips and ideas that we would not have thought of on our own.
Yeah.
So it made it really fun.
Yeah, and Kristen's very knowledgeable about the neighborhoods. Yeah.
And if you're not looking to buy a house, maybe you're looking to rent. And in fact, after all this, I think we decided we're going to have to rent for a year when we get there because we'll have a new job. We're not buying a home with cash. To qualify for a mortgage loan, you have to have an established, work history at an employer. So our jobs will be new. So we are gonna most likely rent for the first year. And maybe you can tell them about how you're searching for places. Yeah,
I do a lot of internet searching to help look at homes for rent or for sale and look at the new housing developments. So I use Zillow a lot. Zillow's not perfect. They do some funny things with their Zestimate pricing, and so some of that you just kind of have to ignore. But Zillow is really easy to use, and you can save homes to go back and look at later, which is a nice thing.
Can you look at rentals on Zillow?
Yeah, you can look at rentals on Zillow. You can select which thing you want to look at, if you want to look at for sale or for rent, and if you want to look at homes or condos or apartments. You can look at all different styles of rentals, so that's kind of handy. Not everything is listed on Zillow, so you'd want to still work with a realtor and use other sources.
It's a good place to start.
But it is
Start
a good
out your
place
search
to-
looking on Zillow.
Yeah.
Rent.com is another place to
Yeah,
look
you
for
can look at
homes to rent.
rent.com for rentals. So when I'm on Zillow, I like to put the address into Google Maps. And from Google Maps, I can go down to a street view and look around at the neighborhoods where the home or the apartment complex is located. It kind of helps you to get an eye for the area. You can look at if there's a grocery store within walking distance. Sometimes the Google map will be a couple of years behind. If you're looking at new developments, sometimes the development is just a field or orange groves at the time you look, because that's the last time the Google car has been down that street.
Each tool you use is useful to an extent.
Yeah.
But that's why the informational gathering trip is something you really need to do after you've started doing the research for a while.
Yeah.
You want to take a trip like this. You can also use Google Maps to figure out the traffic flow. If you can see how close it is to the freeway and do driving directions from where you want to live to where you want to work.
Yes.
And then it'll tell you how many minutes it takes to get to work.
Yeah.
You can also select different times a day. There's a tool in Google Maps that'll show you during rush hour what it would be like.
Yeah, or whatever hours that your job is going to be. You can put in, if you leave for work at 3 in the afternoon or 3 in the morning, you can put those times into Google also and look at what the traffic is.
Also, how far is it to Disney?
And how far is it to Disney?
Because aren't we moving to Disney? Isn't that the whole point?
That's the whole point.
We're moving to Disney.
For us anyway, that's
how far is it to Universal? How far is it to SeaWorld?
Right. Also, where's the local farmers market? Things like that are important to me.
Yeah, where's the bank you want to bank at? Where's the pharmacy you need to go to? Where's the post office? You can look at all those things with the Google Maps. And one thing you'll learn with any of these tools is they're only good to an extent. That's why this informational gathering trip will be super useful to you. After you've done a lot of this research, you kind of think you have it all figured out. Take a trip like this. Go there and see it for yourself.
Yeah.
Get excited about it. This was the funnest thing we've done.
It was really fun.
For this trip.
It was really fun.
This whole idea of moving to Florida, this trip really helped solidify our decision to move there.
Yeah.
We got really excited. It was real fun. We wish we could have spent more time. No, we didn't go to the theme parks, but we did go to dinner at the Toothsome Emporium.
We did.
And had chocolate. You gotta have chocolate.
Because we have to go to have chocolate at Toothsome if we're in the
you can go
Orlando
dinner
area.
there one night. Okay. We'll cheat and do that.
You can cheat and do that. Or go to Disney Springs, you know. But otherwise, try to avoid going to the parks because
it'll distract you from this whole
You don't want
trip.
to be distracted from the idea of living there. And
don't think of it yourself as a tourist when you're there. Think of yourself as a local. How do I get around? Where am I going to live? That kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Okay, so one part of looking for a place to rent, you can go to rent.com and you can put in parameters of how many bedrooms you're looking for, what neighborhoods you are interested in.
Yeah.
You can select if they allow pets or not. We have 2 dogs and 2 cats.
Yeah.
And we're gonna have to try to find a place to rent that allows pets.
Right.
Yeah.
And large pets, because our dogs are large. But that information is usually in the listing, not always, but usually.
And then there's a website called areavibes.com, VIBES. And you can use that to look at statistics on the different neighborhoods, like crime rates.
Yeah, it shows things like that and the variations in cost of living from one neighborhood to the other. That doesn't change a lot. But back to the building of the new homes, some neighborhoods are a little more expensive.
Yeah.
As far as the housing is concerned, most everything else is pretty much the same.
There is one benefit to renting when you get there is, if you rent for a year,
Yeah.
You're putting off that decision to buy a house, but it's a good opportunity to get to know the area, make sure you like the job you're at. Maybe are you still going to be at that same job in a year?
Yeah.
But after a year, you get some stability.
And it also gives you a chance to make sure that the neighborhood you pick originally is a neighborhood that you like, because after a few months you may decide that you would prefer to live even on the other side of the highway from where you're currently living.
Yeah.
You know, or
renting's not a bad thing when you get there.
Yeah.
There's a lot of benefits to that.
Yeah, there are.
Yeah. So at this point in the series, we're on episode 3 of moving to Orlando, moving to Florida.
Yeah.
Are you considering a move to Orlando?
We hope
Tell
so.
us in the comments down below. We'd like to hear from you.
Yeah.
Maybe you have some ideas you can share with us. Maybe you can ask us some questions and we could try to answer them for you.
Yeah.
We're also building a community of people who are making the magical move to Orlando in a Facebook group. That's the name of it, Making the Magical Move to Orlando. Search that in the groups on Facebook. I'll put a link in the description below. You can click on that and join and see how our journey's going. You can ask us questions. You can ask other people questions that are moving to Florida, moving to Orlando. Some other things we did to discover information is there's some YouTube videos that you can watch on moving to Florida. One of them is by DIS Unplugged. They did a series on moving to the magic, and I'm going to recommend that. You can find that in the links in the description below. I'll put those in there. They did a series on moving to Florida, moving to Orlando. They've done episodes on moving to each little town around there, moving to Kissimmee, moving to Winter Garden, Lake Nona, Winter Park, Clearmont. So check those out. Also, there's a podcast online you can listen to, WD Radio, Moving to Disney World. I'm going to put those links in there. So those were really helpful, and probably the most exciting thing we listened to when we first kind of were really close to making that decision, should we move there or not.
Yeah.
We listened to those, and the people in those podcasts said that they themselves had moved to Florida and moving to Disney, moving to the Magic. They don't regret moving there. Just like us, they had to sell a house, get rid of 2/3 of everything you own, move far, far away to a different state. But once they got there, they all said it was worth it, and it was lots of fun.
Yeah.
So that made us feel better about this. Gather as much information if you can. Maybe you haven't decided yet if you're moving or not. These tools will help you decide. There's also another video on YouTube I'll recommend. It's Florida Suburban Dad. I'm going to put that in the description of the video. You can watch that if you'd like. Also, we're having a Moving to Orlando Q&A video later on in the series. So go ahead and ask us questions. We'll gather those. We'll try to do a Q&A video, answer some questions. I'd really like to hear from you.
Yeah.
That would be fun.
You can ask us questions about Disney or our moving process, or just about who we are.
Yeah.
Any questions?
Be sure to check out our Disney videos. We're Disney vloggers. We have other videos on our channel you can check out. And be sure to subscribe, hit that notification bell, comment down below, click like on our video.
Yeah.
It makes us feel good. Is anybody out there? Bye, everybody. See you in the great, big, beautiful tomorrow. Here comes our first blooper. It's a blooper. His name is Buddy. Say hi to Buddy. Say hi. This is Buddy the meow. Buddy the meow. He's a tabby cat. And he likes to play. He loves his parents. Oh, he's drooling. He likes to cuddle and purr and drool.
He's gonna get into things.
Yeah, he's gonna get into stuff. He likes shadow puppets. If I make shadow puppets, he'll try to get him. Aww. Now what are we gonna do?
Talk with him.
Hold the cat and do it?
Why not?
Uh-oh. No claws, no claws. No claws. Okay. Zip it. Good times. Good times.
Buddy the meow. Your
Welcome to the cat show.
butt? Your butt is in the video.
It's the cat show. How come my head is cut off again?
Can it shrink again?
Hey, buddy. Look at the flights and pick a flight. Buy a. Bleh. Yeah, I'll have to cut that part. I have to sit like this. If I sit like this, can't see my head. Should we beam out?
I think so.
Let's beam out.
Okay.